Appetite. This is Jeff.
This is David.
Hello, David. I hear you very quietly in the corner for reasons.
Yes. And what would those reasons be?
The reason is that we also have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello,
And what is your name?
this is Edie,
Hello.
Jeff's sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law, in fact.
Woo.
Yes. We were playing Wandering Sword, which is a really good Chinese RPG that came out this year. I don't know, it was a few months ago, but
Yeah.
I am deeply into it. It is extremely good. And Inie's along because
Because
she's
I'm
like-
Chinese.
yeah, she's like she showed it briefly, and she's like, "Oh, these are like the games I used to play." And I was like, "I gotta get you on the program because this is a context I just don't have." I
Right.
was like, which parts, like which of these tropes are like what part of it is like, oh yes, that is just the way it always is. My
Right.
experience with Chinese games is actually not nearly as extensive as Japanese games, especially Japanese RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer, though, I am not a gamer.
Not a
and
gamer. That's okay.
I fall asleep usually to the Jeff and David show while Justin watches you guys.
Okay, that's fair.
Because the sound of Jeff's voice is a lot like Justin's, and the topic
It's
is
true.
not
Very
of interest to
similar,
me. So,
Entirely, yeah. That's entirely fair. No blame, no shade. Go load up my Goosey City here, but specifically, I was interested in it because like my history of Chinese video games is usually just especially fantasy is mostly just Three Kingdoms, right? So
Yeah.
there's going to be a Lu Bu, and there's or Journey to the West, and that's it. So
Yeah.
there's a Monkey King, there's a Lu Bu, and that's all I've got. So-
Sometimes there's a
And then
Liu
you have
Bei,
a-
sometimes there's a Cao Cao.
yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And then you're delving into a whole lore of wuxia games that's been around the Chinese market for 20 plus years, I would say.
Yeah, I guess probably maybe even longer than that. But the premise here, the format, as you might be able to tell, is kind of like an Octopath Traveler, where it's like a diorama,
Another
kind
game
of.
I've never played.
but at least as a touch point for
Mhm.
visual style. We can look at there's our
Ooh.
here's our beautiful lad.
Hey, it's the
our-
pretty
our-
boys.
Yep.
Is he an orphan?
He has an uncle,
Okay.
but yes.
yes,
yes.
usually they're orphans.
Okay.
Your
Of course.
main, and they're poor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like a son of a noble. Well, I guess he could be secretly a son of a noble. We haven't gotten to the end of the game yet, but
Yeah.
And they usually get some rich lady to fall in love with them.
okay, that's entirely possible.
That's
have-
the arc.
So far, we've picked up. This is first friend, so it's like the first guy that you get in the first village after you're saved in a convoluted opening where most of your family is killed by bandits, and then you're poisoned, and then you're nursed back to health by some secret martial arts master over 10 years, and then like after, well, not 10 years, and then after that, the people that in his past that he wronged come back to murderate him, and then he's like, you must take this secret martial arts technique and protect my adopted daughter. I was like, okay, there you go, call to adventure. And then Wei Ho is just standing there on the side of the road, and you're like, well, I guess you're my first party member.
He is an
Also
orphan.
Yeah, also an orphan.
For sure.
All right.
We've got. I've also picked up Bai Jin. He's a hidden weapon specialist, so like throwing knives and darts. He just wants to relax and get drunk.
Is he rich?
He's not rich.
He
Okay.
looks like a rich boy.
He's like a wanderer. He's kind of like a wanderer.
If he
I don't
just
think I've
wants
done
to
all of-
relax and get drunk, does that make him like Zhang Fei or?
Yeah, I cannot say. I've also picked up Sheng Guan, who is a sword user. Her special, I'm currently at this moment with the save that I've loaded, which is a little bit back from where I was. Is we're currently doing her sort of like side quest where she's trying to learn the techniques of the master that saved her and raised her, orphan, I assume, because she was an orphan. So
Yeah, of course.
so she was raised by a martial arts master and was taught the water sword technique. But then it was only half complete. She's going on a journey to try and complete the trials to renew the martial arts.
What's T artwork?
We've got Mochi.
What's T artwork?
Yeah, on these character sheets here, it shows what their preferences are. That's what gifts you can give them in order to improve your right now, Shangguan is at 70.
Oh.
So if we consult her on her martial arts, she can actually teach us things. So like here, the Qingmu dance. If we have affinity 70, which we do, and we have stamina 60, which is just you get that back by just sleeping. But the last part we would need is 3,400 martial art points, which we might actually be able to. Actually, let me see if I can get that going. So,
Well, we do have one more character, real quick.
oh yeah, that's Mochi. That's Mochi.
Of course.
I thought he was gonna be a fist fighter because I was like, I don't really have like a fist. There's the 5 main weapon archetypes you can get in the characters in this game: staff, fist, hidden weapon, sword, and saber. He's just like, I don't know. He's one of the 3 Mo's from the Wudong sect.
What's a Mo?
There's Mo Chi, there's Mo Win, and then there's a 3rd Mo that hasn't shown up but is like apparently bedridden. So
they are related?
I don't know.
No, they're all orphans.
It says,
as the son of a rich man in Zhengyang, he was taken in as a disciple at a young age. No, he's not an orphan. I misread that.
So yeah, it says it's part of the Mo generation, so I assume that's more of like the name that they're given in the sect. Not sure. I don't think they're actually brothers with the other Mo's, because there's also a bunch of Daos like in the sect. I digress. He's basically a guest character.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll be able to recruit him later, but honestly, at my point where I'm at in the story, I've already got my usuals, and I'm like, I don't know, man. You have to be a pretty cool character if I'm going to include you in the 5 that I need for the battles. Anywho, let's see if we can get 3,400 points, and maybe we can do a little
train.
Ong. Okay, so got my main character. This extremely long list of items, which I never sell anything because, as I've already seen, you can use them to improve.
Yeah,
you give them as gifts to people.
As mobile
manuals.
games have taught me, don't sell anything ever.
So we can get 500. So we got 2,000 there, and then 28. So it's 2,800. I'll just use them all. I don't know if this is going to be quite enough.
I can't see your mouse, so it's very interesting just seeing things.
Yeah, there's just some stuff happening. Yeah. Plenty. 6,500 now. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go learn a thing. Let's consult. Okay, need 70, 3,400 stamina.
60 stamina. Do you have 60 stamina?
Yeah, I do. Why it's not letting me do it. All right. Try again. Oh, I don't. I have 40. Okay, let me go to little,
take a nap.
And take a nap.
How is money in the game? Plentiful or?
Pretty balanced.
Okay.
Can you steal from people's houses?
Well, like any good RPG, I can just wander into places, and if there's a sparkling chest, I can just open it with no consequences.
Yep.
Okay.
As
Unless it's Secret of Evermore.
Should be able to. Yeah, here we go. I'm. Hopefully, yes, on the actual video, you'll be able to see the mouse, but I'm switching over to mouse because although there is controller support, full controller support, it's a little awkward, I suppose.
Okay.
And just using the mouse and the menus is still a little bit easier.
Okay.
So let's see. There we go. Learnable, Qingmu Dance. We can see what it does, which is all of this on the screen currently.
The perfect sense. I got it.
Yeah. You know, it's a cultivation method. It increases your meridian points. It gives you inspired attack and defense. At level 5, you get the dance on water bonus, and then at level 10, you get the grand show bonus. Okay, we've learned it. Nice. Let's go over to our tab here. Cultivation. I actually want as many cultivation methods as possible because that's how I get skill points, basically.
Huh.
There's a bunch of. So like the Qingwu dance here, I'm just going to dump a bunch of points into it. Not quite enough to fully upgrade it, but that's okay.
Are you sure this isn't a mobile game?
Yes, I am sure.
Oh, okay.
It's an actual real video game with some a good tactical RPG combat.
Okay. This seems like a lot of numbers go up spreadsheet stuff that makes my brain go,
Right
ooh.
now, we are currently, yes, we're deep in the spreadsheet part. Okay, I've got my 4 cultivation methods so that I can get the effects of it. Okay, all right. Okay, we're gonna go out. We're gonna explore. We're gonna
Okay.
have grand old time.
Nice.
Although one last menu, I do need to improve my meridians. If you don't mind, just
Is
one
that
last.
the red dot up there?
That is the red dot that I need to kind of.
Yeah, we need to do the red dot then.
We need a. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, conception,
improving the
yang,
cultivation.
turtle, governing, yin, and penetrating.
Yeah, I think that I'm working on gang. Nope, already finished up.
What about girdle?
Working on it. Well, I went yen because I think the bonus here is immediately get 300 chi, which is to say you get your turn faster when an enemy dies.
So chi
We'll,
is like AP.
Yeah. So we'll strike the acupuncture point. Okay, we've got a little extra MP from doing that. We'll need 300.
I noticed that
in order
there's
to
an
get
acupuncture point right in the family jewels.
That's Chongmen for MP.
What's the word?
I don't know.
What? Why is there an acupuncture point right there?
I don't know.
Maybe it's more in the glutes, you know, maybe more like the butt, you know.
I mean,
Okay.
all right. I'll avoid making things too blue, but
Yes, thank you.
Oh, it's an actual acupuncture point. It's on the spleen channel.
oh,
I lost focus on the screen for a second.
spleen channel.
Oh, Chongmen. Okay. It's,
Yeah, that's what Jeff said. Absolutely. Everything's still
I've
good, Jeff?
run into a bit of an issue here,
Oh,
which
no.
I thought they had fixed by now, but it's I think I can get around this by just doing a save load. All right, let me
Okay.
just save load real quick.
Back to 11.
Yeah, the latest one. Well, and double check. Okay, this one we're at. Yeah, it was losing focus on the menu, so I couldn't go back to using the controller. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the Baidi Lake and work on Hong's story here. This is the beautiful world map.
Ooh,
We'll zoom out on.
it's
here.
very Xenogears / Final Fantasy 9 / Star Ocean Second Story /
Many things.
PS1
we have
RPG.
I've gone through. There's side quests for all these little spots naturally.
Mhm.
One of the things that in Busu City here, which I've been able to come back and do, but there's another cool spear wielding lady whose quest starts there, where her rich father is just like, I'm gonna marry my daughter, and then the daughter's like, whoever can beat me up gets to marry me.
yeah.
So
Classic quest. And then you win, and then you get to. You're like,
Or-
oh, I don't want to marry you.
or like you don't want to do it because you're like, well, obviously that's not honorable, but then like, you know, some villain jumps in and then everyone's like, it's the Hawk of the Villain Valley, and you have to beat him up.
You have to beat
And then it's
him,
like,
and
okay.
then,
And it's like, well, technically you beat the villain, you didn't technically beat me, but like I think that counts. And then she's like, honestly, I just didn't want to be in an arranged marriage, so like if we can just go travel the countryside. I'm like, all right, that's cool, fine,
And then she falls in love with you
we'll see.
in the past. Usually
We got,
that's
you
what
know,
happens.
we got
I
there's
mean,
some options
you
here.
said
so.
she's got a rich dad, so checklist says
I'm gonna observe. Okay.
power
This guy
outstanding.
a little too strong, but one of the things that you can do is basically any NPC that's just wandering around, you can just look in their inventory, see what they got. And then if you give them enough gifts to get up their level to 20, you can spar with them to do a 1v1, and then they'll give you a random item from their inventory.
Uh-huh.
So you just give people gifts, and you
Ooh.
beat them up, and then you get stuff. It's nice.
That sounds.
It's all consensual.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
consensual. Yeah, it's completely consensual.
You know, trying to improve.
We're going to Baidi Lake on the side there. This is part of the Shenkan story that was going through here. Like I said, previously on this particular character story. Again, abandoned as a child, raised by martial arts expert, learned the teal water sword. In her actual abilities that she had. The mighty move, yes, the teal water sword play. Just trying to perfect it. Have I done the same thing again? Have I
think you may have.
I accidentally I've done the same mistake. Yep, it is lost focus again. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, we'll just try and do the same thing.
Yeah, save load.
Yep, just do a save load. Okay. Here, do.
So, how are the character designs for compared to what you're used to, Eni?
Looks very similar.
Okay.
The series that's wildly popular when I was growing up in China, it's called The Legend of Sword and Fairy. And I think they were made like 15, 16 of those sort of.
The latest one just came out 2 months ago and is on Game Pass.
Yeah, well, I used to play it on Windows 95. Okay, so that's,
So it goes back a ways.
and it comes with little CDs that you pop in, and then it's like a 60-hour RPG that I spent my summer vacations playing.
Yeah, no.
Is that that series we did the one video on?
No, that was Gujian.
That was Gujiang. Okay.
We haven't done a video on Sword and Fairy. I just played only for like a half hour on the games, the latest one that was on Game Pass recently.
It's very similar, open world design, quests, leveling up, you saving the world, and everybody falling in love with you.
Yeah, I did want to get back to Gujian.
That's
The
pretty
Legend
universal.
of Sword and Fairy usually have like a supernatural aspect to it too,
Mhm.
so kind of like the Final Fantasy, but I don't know if this one does have any
that's
like.
actually something I'm curious about, because so far the plot in this game has been a lot of just like political machinations and like secret armies being raised to overthrow this, and then great detective agencies solving this human trafficking ring, that, and so forth, that kind of stuff.
This and that, yeah.
And then also, just getting good at martial arts. Obviously,
Right.
that's part
Right.
of it. But I think it actually probably will go in a more mystical direction. I assume that, but I don't know for sure. So, like, honestly, it could go either way, and probably be happy either way. If it starts being like, well, we got to go fight the Demon King now. It's like, I thought that might be the case. I do need to level up my fishing first. But
Here's House of Wu from True Crime Streets of LA. Fight a dragon.
okay, good old our sparkly, just super helpful good boy is going to help out his friend here. The final trial is to defeat. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's gonna be a one-on-one. All right, we're doing fights now.
Ooh.
You can go up to 5-on-5, and it can go more than 5-on-5 on story battles, whether you have guests coming in.
Yeah.
But these special fights. This is one of the rare cases where you and Yi is not in it, because like for the most part, your main dude is in all the fights, and he is the one that does the one-on-ones. But he's the story the character here, so we're gonna see if we can't. Cultivation.
Yeah.
Or I'll try and use the.
Maybe use the controller.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can use the controller. I'm gonna use the Qingmu dance. It should give us, inspired attack, inspired defense. So it's just bonuses. Can't go wrong. Actually, I'm going to back up and use lightness. The lightness ability is just to improve your chi generation and speed and stuff.
Did you use
Yeah,
lightness?
back
It looked like you used the mighty thing.
No, I did. You can see on the bottom it's on cooldown now.
Okay.
Lightness is on 2 cooldown. So
Okay.
now I'm just gonna run around and try and get attack hit. Hopefully it'll be enough to finish it. Ambiguous. Is strong.
Yes.
You do
Do
get
you-
bonuses for doing back attacks, though.
Do you have animation sped up or?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, so I have right now. Okay, so manual, and then there we go. Now it's a X1 speed.
Okay. I was like, it's going real quick.
Yeah, I've got the. There's definitely an effect of like. Well, maybe I'll see if I win or lose this, but then I'll finish that thought. Was it? Remind me to talk about the percentage of my power. Okay. Okay. 92. I don't know if the HP shield's gonna be good enough. Is that buff gonna be enough to carry me? Unclear.
Can you use items?
Cannot use items in the middle.
Okay.
All HP recovery has to be from some special effect on a move,
Okay.
or some bonus cultivation effect. Some of the cultivation is just like, breathing exercises. But now you get your health back. Yeah, I don't think it would work.
Especially
Help
because
us,
she's
help.
got
Yeah.
goat move.
It's got,
Well, you're not dead.
An actual unique move. Now I'm using normals. How embarrassing.
Side attack.
Defeat.
Well,
Not fully mastered yet. Come back when you're ready.
okay.
I think we could. I think it's possible to beat at this point. Might just need to put a little extra. Put a extra points in some skills. See, see if we could tweak it a little bit. We can wander back to Wudong for now.
Okay. Oh, you got to pick up that
Wandering at the moment. Yeah, obviously get the ore.
Jade.
But yeah, one of the
That's-
the other thing that we can do is the become a senior disciple, which we just have to go do another sort of test. Except this test is for main character, so it's to be a 1v1 again.
Mhm.
Can you be a disciple in every one of the sects?
I don't know yet. I've been honing my Wudong sect right now. But you can I think you can just wander up here to Shaolin.
Are there random encounters on the overworld?
There's not random encounters.
That's nice.
Like you can just hang out at Shaolin Temple. I picked up a few side
Kitties.
quests there, but there was nothing. There was nothing that was like specifically like, oh, now you want to become a disciple specifically.
Because you haven't found the monk that's supposed to join your party yet, maybe.
That's probably true. I
Because you
just
have
haven't found the right
you have the
character.
Wudong character in your party, so
Well, also in the plot, the main character joins the Wudong sect, following in the footsteps of the people that saved him
Mhm.
earlier in the story. So I think that plot-wise, you always have to do the Wudong, but I'm not really sure if you can do. You can definitely learn the moves from the other sects, though. Like, I think actually, my staff lad over here, yeah, he has a on his I didn't even use the mouse this time. Game.
I was wondering if that was going to happen again.
Yeah, I was excited. Well, he at the end of his quest, one of the Shaolin teachers is part of his little personal quest, and you end up learning a unique staff move called the Salvation Staff, which, when you go into the description, it's like it is a Shaolin move, and all of the moves have their specific, where they came from and its synergies. I have to do this little dance again to get my control back. That. I've not actually had this much trouble switching back and forth, because I do usually switch back and forth between mouse and controller.
Was there an update
Yeah,
recently, maybe, that borked some
I don't know,
stuff?
maybe. Okay, all right. Just take my word for it. Imagine he has a Salvation Staff, which it does damage and then also heals all allies within a certain range. So.
Oh, that's a good move.
Good move. Sure, I'm going the right way. Pretty sure it's here. Then Liushan School is the cops, I guess.
The police?
It's yeah, basically like they're the ones that are like official peacekeepers for the, I guess, kingdom maybe, or emperor. It's a little unclear which political system it is, but they seem to fill the role of like cops. So there's like murder mysteries and stuff that involves them. Also, the 4 great detectives, which is just 4 more beautiful boys that perhaps can join your team. There's one in a wheelchair who is awesome. He's always coughing, and he has hidden weapons. And when you use him in battle, he can only move like one spot at a time. But he has weapons that can like nuke anything on the battlefield.
Oh, that's
and
pretty
I was
good.
like, I need to immediately do all of your quests because I need you in my party. And it got to a point where I finally finished them, and I was like, all right, now can we continue? And he's like, come back to me later. Basically, like looking at the camera, saying like, come back to me later when you're in a different act of the game. I'm like, okay, all right, fine, whatever. I didn't want you anyways.
Except you really did.
But I did. I did want him. Sorry, a little hometown.
Nice. I really like all the set piece design. It's very, as you said, diorama and paper craft.
Yeah,
It's
got a little should feed out. Oh, be able to chat with him. Well, I will also do this. I think I'd be able to win pretty easily, but we'll know. Okay. It's just fully not allowing the controller at the moment to get out of the menu. That's kind of unfortunate.
Did they change a button?
Yeah, I wonder if they changed a button or something. Okay, I can go up and down here. I can resume. Yeah, the problem here is that when I get back here out of the system menu, it doesn't focus on the upper right like it should. So it kind of gets stuck. That's yeah. Hopefully they can fix that. Okay, let's chat.
So the Wudang martial arts have their origins in the Shaolin school,
Okay, there you go.
but they're the people that don't want to shave their heads bald.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
big
was wondering
difference.
It's based on Taoism rather than Buddhism,
Okay.
and they have like little sticks with feathers at the end of it that they carry to fight. I don't know if it's in this.
Okay. I've not seen that in this.
It's like a staff that's fluffy.
fluffy
I
staff,
don't know
thanks.
how to describe it. Yeah, if you see it, they fight with this fluffy staff.
I mean,
And then-
that's the
Okay.
best
And then-
description for a
Okay,
weapon, whether it's right or not.
That does answer a question I had, which was I was wondering how much of this was like historical fiction versus just like, well, like the like stock fantasy for a particular country.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, like I think of like Tolkien fantasy as being like stock fantasy for Europe, even though technically Tolkien fantasy is not specific to a European country. If you see dragons and elves, you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how much of this was just like, is it just like, oh, obviously the Shaolin is a real thing, but then like there's the mythical version of that's in the collective unconscious, right?
Right.
So I guess that maybe that's the case of almost all of the different parts of this, because I was like, I'm not sure if this was like fantasy ancient China, or if like the wuxia has like a very specific like, oh, this is wuxia China.
It's Chinese fiction,
Okay.
but it's historical too, right? Like it's been passed in like historical fiction too. So starting from like the Tang Dynasty, like 600.
Okay, yeah.
So
My only knowledge of Chinese history comes from Three Kingdoms stuff. Where is that in relation to that?
It's just-
I think Three Kingdoms is it's actual history versus wuxia is like historical fiction. There's some things that's historical, like the Buddhists, right? And then the Taoism and stuff. But then the whole, like, different sects fighting and having martial arts, that's all
fiction?
fiction.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all fiction.
I guess maybe some of it isn't, or I assume that some of the actual grudges between the people was based on historical fact, but I just don't know. This does remind me about the percentage of my power.
I use 1/10 of my power. Yeah, there you go.
So that's like a great cliche where it's like, oh, I thank you, and at least 10 times so far in this game, the main character has thanked someone they've beaten and thanked them for holding back, and he's like, I thank you for holding back, and then the other person's like, I wasn't doing that, but okay. Thank you for I need a safe face here, but okay, thank you for saying that. But this actually is literal, because you can, like, literally you can, like, so I said, I can just observe him, and like, you can see his stats. So he's literally going to use 10% of his stats.
Okay, that's actually
Which
great.
I think is just great, because later on when you get like a later test, he's like, I will only use 30% of my power. And I'm just like, you know what? All right. It's like, I believe you. At the moment it says you might miss something because we have uncompleted quest, but yeah, I'm just going to do it now because I'm past this, and the exercise for the viewer, I suppose.
For the reader.
Yeah.
Oh.
A tenth of his power is extremely low compared to where we're at now, so I'm not even going to pay attention. I'm going to let the auto battle take this one.
Oh. How good is the auto battle?
This is doing it. All right. So this mechanically means that you can actually have both sides of that cliche, which I think is kind of fun, where you'll be fighting someone and they'll say like, oh, I'm only using half my power, and it's literally true because of the numbers. But then as the main character, you can be like, I don't know, I've determined that your aura is too weak. I'm not even going to pay attention. I'm just going to press the auto button. And then like later on, you're like, you take a little bit of damage and you turn off the auto, and it's like, you have my attention now. I will think tactically about this fight. Future Wudong is bright. Who likes of you? I got a new nameplate. Seniors. Master Dao Tong is one of the Dao generation. There's a few other Dao, I suppose Daoists, if you will.
I mean, that's probably literal, but
it might be. Aren't you a sweet talker? The translation is pretty good. There's a few idiosyncrasies that I'm not sure if it's probably just like what's the word, like to my tongue,
transliteration,
like idioms, I guess. Maybe like idioms.
Oh yeah.
Well, like one of the things is like often the character will say he, which I think is like I read it as like a he, like a giggle.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be more like a heh, like like or like a light laugh. Or yeah, it's just rendered in such a way that sometimes I'm like, is this guy super giggly? He's like, no, I think he's just laughing nervously. Okay, it's a different effect depending on how you read it. Don't go. Don't make the sec loot away. Okay, take my loot. Okay, the Mochi was Mochi was in the party specifically for the urgent quest we were doing. We skipped it because we had already done that other thing, so he's out of the party.
Right.
The other lad that I'd gone too close and I got sucked into a cutscene. To say Moen is the other one that's been in and out. He actually, I like Moen. His stats are pretty good. He's got some good martial art. I would not be where I am today. So he's so thankful. All he did was pointing you in the right. It's close. I get it. You just see Shifu get in. He's in the hall. See what Shifu does. Okay. We can observe Moen. So yeah, Moen's also he's been in and out of the party a few times because he'll join you on some missions and then he'll be, surprise, he'll show up at the end of mission, when things are going grim. He has a lot of, he's a good sword fighter. I like Moen. But I did eventually get to a spot where I was like, you know what? I can't use Moen as a crutch anymore. I've got my stable of 5 lads and lasses, and we're out here basically feeding all of the martial arts points into the main character because the main character is the one that mostly does the fighting in 1v1, so he has to be the most powerful.
Right.
But, if there's a spare on the side, we'll do some cultivation techniques on the
Yeah,
side.
a little extra.
Yeah, two thumbs up would recommend. The game is great. I don't know if you have any other thoughts either from the is it how close is this just in general presentation to the games you used to play? It's going for like a Super Nintendo look just intentionally here, even though it only came out this year.
Usually since the rendering powers in the older games are not that high, it's been, I guess it's the Chinese Final Fantasy version, so back in the day they would try to mimic the looks of the Final Fantasy series, so it looks like this with the vast open worlds and different architectures. And
It's like I'm also wondering about like the world map itself. Like, is it usually the same kind of world? Because like when I'm thinking of it compared to Final Fantasy, each one has like its own entirely different planet and countries and like backstory. Is there like a shared one? I pressed the start button. I remember regret this. Okay, good. I was able to get out.
Nice.
Okay.
typically you travel like a desert area.
Oh yeah, actually,
A
I'm gonna
foresty
risk
area.
it because we might be able to go up slightly and see
The mountains, and then
the desert area on the other side of the Shungu Pass. And then if we go left and down, we might be able to
Oh, hey,
get
look, it's
into
the mountain area.
Oh yeah, a little forest mountain area, and then maybe the more green.
then the fishing villages near the coast. You gotta go to the mountains to learn some kind of secret martial arts, right?
Yeah, I think that might happen like a dozen times. Like maybe even each mountain has its own
Right.
specific.
It's always
secret
like
art.
if you're committed, you have to climb a tall mountain and meet a master and learn something. They're always up high.
I don't think I've actually been to Green Turn. Wonder what's up there.
Oh, hey, it's letting you walk around. That's interesting.
Yeah, I can walk around with the. I do like the zoomed out view because it's a little bit easier to
Navigate.
track of. Yeah. Speaking of fishing villages, I have 110 stamina that I can spend on fishing.
You might as well. How is fishing in this?
It's simple, but that's okay. That's all it has to be.
Yeah.
The stamina system is basically what keeps you from doing menial tasks too much before having to go back and rest.
All right.
But yeah, the fishing is as easy as that. It just goes boop, and then you press the button and you get fish, and it gives you the percentages of what you can find on the side.
Nice. I wish more fishing in video games just like this.
Yeah,
Stardew Valley,
pretty
Graveyard Keeper.
You can have like actually check on my fishing's level 5. I think these go up to 9 or 10, or I guess 10 kind of 9, but max of 9. Collecting didn't take me long to level it up. Unfortunately, my cooking sucks at the moment because I haven't been able to find any level 0 like recipes. I got recipes from doing a quest. It's like make this immaculate fish dish, bones in, of course.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I have to be level 5. I can't do this yet. Because you can't make the recipe level until you get up to that point. So I have found since this save file that I just needed to find a cooking instructor. One of the Dao folks at the Wudong sect is just
Nobody
a good
at
cook.
the inn behind you can teach you to cook something.
Unfortunately, you can only consult certain people for abilities.
Aw.
So like it's not Often it's related. So like the tailor will also be able to teach you tailoring, but like not every
Right.
single town who has a tailor can do it. So not every single inn that has like, a bar or whatever does cooking. But yeah, one of the guys at the Wudong sect was like level 4 cooking, and it was like, oh, we have a high affinity, and I can just go sleep in the bed next to me. So it's just basically like take cooking lessons and then go sleep, take cooking lessons, go sleep. I was like, now I can make, like the most basic rice dish without it exploding or whatever. Yeah. I've become stuck on the menu again.
So is the service
This is happening. I think maybe it's a Vista. Yeah,
Alright.
I think maybe it is.
Well, if you've enjoyed this and the other things we do, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Most direct way to do that. You can also do the YouTube stuff, like comment, subscribe, help the algorithm know that we're something to promote. We love doing stuff like this, and all those things make it easier.
Yeah, Wandering Sword. Also, thanks to Eni for hanging out and giving some context, I guess. Some historical context. Just imagine little Eni in China, just playing an RPG all through the summer.
Yeah.
That is not a dissimilar circumstance to my own childhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make bets on how many lady falls in love with you at the end of this game.
Okay.
I say 4.
You say 4. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go with 7.
Maybe we'll have to check back in.
Yeah.
That's like a Persona level kind of
Yeah.
game. I don't think that's a little high.